Hello, NYWC. I am the administrator of the NYWC message board, Robert Lottie. Firepower! Fly from Farmingville Fire Department is in the history books, and I don't know if this is the first time NYWC ever ran in that place, but I had quite a long trip. Kudos to my uncle for picking me up from work and driving me out there, and I went to get my ticket from Chris Perry just as the show was getting underway. Pat of the Boulevard Bullies ring announced for this one, and he introduced Pancakes. He comes out only for him to be interrupted by the Dirty Deeds, the Beard villain Johnny Malloy and Dirty Moore. I'm not sure if he still goes by that name. He went by that name as a member of the Dirty Rednecks years ago. They disrupt him and they get on the microphone. They put him, I forgot what they said to him, but they were putting down the firefighters as well. And they attack Pancakes until the heavyweight champion Rex Lawless hits the ring. And he challenges him to a match right then and there, in which Rex Lawless, the Desolate One, and Pancakes defeat the Dirty Deeds in a fun opening match to start off the show. Next match, we see Satanta Fury challenging the Greek god Papadon for his 3 championship belts. The Greek god Papadon defeated Satanta Fury to retain all 3 of his championships belts. Next up, we were scheduled to see the tag team championship on the line, but unfortunately the Big O had an injury and was unable to be there. We had tag team action as we saw one half of the tag team champions, Pedro Donis, team up with a man who had not been wrestled, who returned to NYWC for the first time since 2004, Damian Adams, as they did battle with Seth and Micah Cortez, the Audacity, in a tag team matchup, where the Audacity defeated Pedro Donis and Damian Adams to win the match. Next up was a triple threat match, as we saw Corey Cooper, accompanied to the ring by the cause of it all, Joey Conway, as they did battle with Bad Brad Benson, and Brad's still coming out to the Benson Bros music. I don't know what song that is. And their third opponent was the Man Bun Jesus Johnny Radke, accompanied to the ring by the Groovy Grizzly. Fun triple threat matchup, which saw Man Bun Jesus Johnny Radke defeat Bad Brad Benson and Corey Cooper. In the early going, both Cooper and Benson were like picking on Groovy Grizzly. Radke did a suicide dive to the floor, but he crashed into Bear. And I think, well, I forgot what move Radke used to win the matchup. But he got the victory. At that point, I was very surprised they went to intermission. Good thing they did, because I had to go use the bathroom. Let me see. We resumed the action with a tag team match as Fusion champion Michael Mastretta and Jordan Reddington did battle with Dickie Rods and Sage Chance. I forgot Reddington or Mastretta. Someone accidentally hit the other and then got rolled up by, was it Rods? To enable Rods and Chance to win the tag team match. They came a triple threat match as Willow Nightingale and Unstoppable Izzy McKenna challenged Tina San Antonio for the Starlet Championship. Good match by all 3 of these ladies. And I'm sorry, folks, but This is what happens when you're hungry like the wolf, or you're hungry like Samuel L. Jackson's two favorite words he says in nearly every movie. Willow Nightingale was going to go to the top rope, and she got cut off by McKenna, and she powerbombed her. And Tina threw McKenna out of the ring, and Tina pinned Willow to retain the Starlet Championship. Next matchup was Sal Savelli going one-on-one with Jaden Vallow. This was the third time these two men were facing each other, as Savelli won the first one-on-one meeting at Scars and Stripes last month in Copiague Fire Department. Vallow won the rematch at Psychedelic Violence, and this was the rubber match. Quite an entrance for Vallow, as he was standing on top of the fire truck that had the lights shining down on the ring, and Vallow was running into the crowd. He notices me. He says, "Hey, buddy," and high fives me. And I just like to say these two stole the show to a point where the bell rang, and then the Pat of the Boulevard Bullies says, "Oh, it's a time 15-minute time limit has run out," but he never announced a time limit to the crowd. But then both Val and Savelli wanted 5 more minutes, and the referee decided to let them have 5 more minutes, and they're both outside on the floor. But then out comes Corey Cooper, and the cause of it all, Joey Conway, to attack both men, and then the match was thrown out. And at that point, Conway had the dog collar around his neck, and Aiden Bale, who was scheduled to face Conway in the main event, comes out for the dog collar match. But we had looked like a bit of a botchamania moment, as the chain, one of the links in the chain broke, and they were not attached to the chain. They both had the dog collars on. Aiden brought a garbage can with a kendo stick, chairs. At one point, a door was brought into play, and Conway powerbombed Bale off the top rope through the door. And Corey Cooper, I think, prevented Aiden from getting a pinfall at one point, and Aiden made Cooper pay for that. And I think Aiden used a snap mare driver on Conway to pin him to end a fun night of NYWC action. First one this time was great seeing Chris Perry. I didn't catch Shane, but I know he was there. Willie Wise, Aaron, Apollyon and his wife. I don't know if Apollyon is ever going to get back in the ring. I sure miss him performing. Oliver and Chris. I forgot his last name. I know Steven Scogan there. Yeah. Here's some memorable quotes for the show. "Do it for Aunt Jemima!" Somebody towards Pancakes. "Shut up, Lucky Charms!" Papa Don to Satante Fury, just as their match was getting underway. "Stay down! When you get up, stay down!" Bad Brad Benson to Johnny Radke after knocking him off the apron. "Hello, Mr. Lottie." I'm guessing that was Man Bun Jesus, Johnny Radke's mom, just as Radke won his match. "Shout out to Robert Lottie," Pat of the Boulevard Bullies, just as the show was going to intermission. "Use his head as a mop." Somebody towards Jaden Vallow during his match with Sal Savelli. He got slapped like a bitch. This bald guy to Sal Savelli. There were, I don't know if they were the firefighters, but like there were so many people in the front row basically having a virtual cream fest over that match between Jaden Vallow and Sal Savelli. Again, I think those two kids stole the show. Which leads me to this. No return date was announced for NYWC. I would like to see, whenever their next show takes place, I think Jaden Vallow versus Sal Savelli one more time with some kind of stipulation. That would be very good. Get well to the Big O, who was unable to compete on this event. Let me see. Anybody else I remember seeing there? Wow, hold that thought. Surprisingly, the show ended around the 9:30 p.m. range. I'm not complaining because since those I normally sit with were not at this show, I was able to just get to my uncle's car and, drive me back home. Yeah, man. Very good. It was nice meeting Megan, who was right next to Chris Perry as I was paying for my ticket. I think that was her name. That lady I was hoping to meet was sitting near me. Really, honestly, folks, due to the fact that I work weekends, I was not really in the best of spirits on my way to the show. She was just mere feet away from me, and I failed to even say anything to her. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to meet her. Okay, I was hoping there would be hamburgers sold at the show, and there were, and those were some nice buns too. Those burgers were placed on. I know at the NYWC Sport Tournament they don't sell hamburgers. Oh, let's see, anything else to cover here. The crowd wasn't as big as it was for Scars and Stripes last month in Copeg Fire Department. I don't know. Maybe if you go back to Copeg in next year. Pardon me, or Farmingville, that fire department. I hope Firepower will be like a yearly show, whether it's in Copeg or Farmingville Fire Department or anywhere else. But yeah, like I said, enjoyed myself. This was a fun show. I still can't believe it. That lady was right. Like I said, I don't know how many feet away from me. I don't know if I'll ever get to meet her. And I know it didn't feel the same without my fellow NYWCites sitting with me for this one. So, I will leave you with this. NYWC rules.